Hello and welcome to the Lovetarian Way show. I'm Natalia PH and I am a Lovetarian. If you are joining me again for the third time, it is the third episode, I am super grateful and I'm hoping that I'm actually getting some regulars on this show, and you can probably see if it's your third show that we get really incredible variety of guests and they always have something fabulous to say. It's inspirational, it's empowering, and every time people watch the show we get a great feedback and there's fabulous questions to help you on your journey of awakening. So the Lovetarian Way show, actually, if you have not heard that one yet, is something that I've received on the show, the Lovetarian Way. I've received it during deep meditative processes. And the insights that I was receiving were beautiful. I felt our true nature, that of unconditional love. Do you realize that you are that you are that love, that you are loved by your source, which I call Mother, Father, Creatrix, Source. You can call it God, universe. The name is not important. You are loved unconditionally by that source, and you are a fractal, a hologram, a part of that beautiful source. That's what I felt, that's what I saw, and that's what I keep on seeing. Then further guidance came through, and this guidance was called the Lovetarian Way pillars. And we have 4 pillars. Pillar 1 is all about you accepting responsibility for that power, your power of being that source. And you can actually co-create your life because you are a part of that source, as I said, that is almighty and powerful. But you need to accept the power, okay? And you can then co-create with your spiritual higher self, whatever you want to call it. The names are not that important here. And actually today with my wonderful guest, Jill Harrison, whom I'm going to invite in a moment, we will go deep into that, how you can create, how destiny, how free will falls all into that. Then pillar 2 came through me, I shall say, and it was all about oneness. We are one, and we really, if we embrace that oneness, if we truly allow ourselves to understand that this is the nature of the universe, this beautiful quantum soup of energy, this field of divine Mother, Father, God, source, if we are part of that beautiful source, we are one, and we are the individual expressions of that source. And as such, well, further guidance came, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because you wouldn't hurt yourself, you wouldn't slap yourself in the face. I know some of us do. Ideally, we don't want to do it to ourselves. We want to love ourselves deeply and completely and totally. And we want to love our brothers and sisters, okay? Without controlling anyone, because each of us, we are all individual expressions of that source. That is the guidance that kept coming, right? And then the pillar 3 was all about embracing life as though everything is a miracle. Remember, Mr. Einstein said once, you can live your life as though everything is a miracle or as if nothing is. The choice is once again yours. If you want to empower yourself, you might want to vibrate in that miraculous frequency of love and light, gratitude and joy, and really feel amazing, right? Or you can choose the other side. Again, up to you. And then pillar 4, embrace the Lovetarian nourishment. And what is that primary form of nourishment? It's breath. You're breathing that source energy in and out. If you are stopping to breathe, you're out. You can go without food for quite some time. You can go without water for a few days even. What is it now? They even did some science experiments, was 3 days or something. You can live without it. Again, it's a viewpoint. Without breath, you'll not be able to function that long. So breathing in your beautiful body is very, very important. So that's the primary form of Lovetarian nourishment. And then, of course, embracing loving thoughts, loving feelings, speaking like that, thinking like that, feeling like that. So all those pillars, they are not disconnected. They are intertwined, forever connected, interdependent. And they are, of course, evolving as my perception is evolving. And each of you will see those pillars through the perception of your own how should we call it? Depending on which stage of awareness you are at this moment, you will see them as you will see them. So my job with this show, my job with inviting the guests that I'm having here is to shine some light on how you can live your life in the best way possible so that you can enjoy this ride and, well, have as much fun, as much peace, as much harmony, and as much power as you can possibly fathom, because actually you are incredibly powerful. So in essence, that's the Lovetarian way. And it's based, as I said, in unconditional love, which I know is our true nature, because it is not anymore a belief system. It is something that I've experienced, and anybody can do that. Anybody can do that if you choose to do that through meditation, through different processes that I'm discussing with my guests. So, to my guest now, beautiful, one and only, top world expert, archangel messenger, author and mentor, my friend for almost 10 years, Jill Harrison. Jill, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Natalia. How are you?
I'm very good. I am very at peace. How are you?
I'm doing brilliant, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming here, and let's say hello to whomever is here with us today. Richard, could you show us some names? And we will say hello to everyone. Hiya, Sam, and please tell us
Sam.
Where are you from? Who else have we got? Tish. Oh, hello, Tish. Welcome, welcome.
Hello,
hi, Tish.
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. Oh, Honora, is that how I say it? Honora. Okay, hello. Honora. Where are you from?
Hi. Hi, Wendy.
Jill Wimsink. Let's do a choir. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
Missouri, USA. Okay,
hi. Cool.
That's great. Mick, hi there.
Hi, Mick.
Hello, Stacey. And a cute doggy. What's the name of the doggy?
And seashells. What a lovely acronym.
Yeah.
Nickname.
Hi.
Seashells. That's beautiful.
Perfect. Hello, Tara.
Okay. Hi, Tara.
Hi, Wendy. Hello,
Yvonne. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Cindy.
From USA. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Deborah.
Deborah, Lillian. Fiona and Janice. And Jackie. Perfect. Okay, we will be chatting today about understanding of free will and destiny. Lovetarian way understanding between those two things. So Jill and I, we had a nice little chat. We have been having a lot of chats through, well, almost 10 years, right, Jill?
Yes, definitely, yes.
And as I have been your friend, we've been friends, as I said, for almost a decade. I have experienced incredible transformation. You have also transformed so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, isn't it so that we really, could you tell a little bit about your perspective on what angelic, well, your perspective, how you trans-channel angels, what are they saying about destiny and free will?
Okay.
Because, yeah, I'm interested in their perspective, and then we'll talk about our perspective as well.
All right. Well, they're already here. They're already with us, as you know. So, first and foremost, what I am getting is that, okay, so what they're saying to me is it's really important, first and foremost, that people try to understand the difference between destiny and fate.
Okay.
Because some people think they're exactly the same, which they're not. And what is interesting is that we tend to view fate as very negative, and we tend to view destiny as positive. And as you know, for me, it's all about where we're aligning, where our energies are. Everything for me always comes down to energy. So all around us, we've got this cosmic soup. We've got international finances going past us. We've got all the radio and TV stations going past us. But we've also got the spirit realm. And the spirit realm comprise of, just like we've got many different radio and TV stations, we've got many different spiritual entities that we can connect with. And the thing is as Michael's just said to me, you know, fate is what is already pre-designed for you, what you chose to try and achieve in this lifetime when you came into human form. But how that fate evolves then steps in destiny, and destiny is what you shape your destiny by the choices that you make, by your beliefs, your actions, your thoughts, what you're saying. So fate is like a blueprint, an outline of what you're wanting to build or achieve, and then destiny is how you go about building that through self-will. So this is where we have this really interesting polarity starting to form, where our choices, our vibration dictate how the universe responds and how we shape our destiny.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much for
You're
that.
welcome.
Clarification. And now how free will falls into that?
Okay, so each of us, I believe, and it's my belief, as I've been shown by spirit, the spirit world, since I was a child, is that we have within us this divine spark, the creator essence, whatever you want to call it, the God essence, light essence. It's our divine qualities, the creative essence within us. And from that, what we're doing is we're choosing and exploring things that are unknown to us and making them known. And as we choose our through will, we decide what we want. And from what we want, we then have an experience. And what's really interesting from the angel's perspective, or the angelic realm's perspective, is there's never a good or a bad. All right. So if you have an experience, it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. It's what that experience has brought to you and what you've learned from it, and how you can take something from it and shape it or utilize it to help you grow and expand into a better version. That's not saying that we're less than, but a greater version of ourselves. So all the time we're discovering through our free will and the choices we're making how brilliant we all are, how super talented and strong we are. And I think we lose sight of that with everything that's going on around us.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, by the way, beautiful audience, anyone has any questions, please put them in the comment box and we will be answering all your questions as soon as Richard will let us know it's the time. Haha, I'm just being funny. Okay, Jill, so you have been receiving insights from spirit ever since you remember, huh?
Yeah, ever since I was a little child. It always made me feel, I never regarded it as a gift. I think I've only started really to embrace that over the last, 10, 15 years as a gift. Prior to that, you know, it can be really difficult when you're picking things up and you're wondering, is it me? Is it a psychic impression? Is it spirit? And so it can be really daunting when we first start to become aware of that intuitive spark within us. And that intuitive spark as well is also part of your divine will, you know, your free will. It's do I explore that aspect of myself, or do I shut it down because maybe, you know, it's been imprinted on us by other people that it's a bad thing or it's not normal. You know, some things are not normal, but it can be very natural. Yeah. So it's finding yourself. And the one thing that I've always found with the angelic realm is it has always been my constant source of support and love. It's never been anything else. It has always guided me if I've chosen to listen, because there have been times when I thought, nope, not doing that. And then I thought, oops, I really should have listened. So yeah, it's learning to trust, I think, not only when I say putting our trust in spirit, but putting our trust in ourselves, because that energy and that communication from spirit comes through us. It's not out there separate to us. It is a part of us. It's interlinked with our soul.
Perfect. So when we look, for example, at this guidance I've received, and I don't call myself psychic medium. I believe everybody has an intuition, wouldn't you say?
They do, definitely. Yes, they do.
So my understanding, I mean, I've been working with you for quite some time, and things just happened. And when I was meditating, when I really chose to ask certain questions, I received insights, and then I was journaling on it. I was going deeper and deeper and deeper. So how would a person know? How would a person know if what they are receiving is the real deal? It's their imagination. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
As people say, oh, it was just my imagination. What is your take on that?
Okay, well, first thing, that Archangel Metatron, who I chance channel a lot, always says to me, imagination is that divine spark. Mm-hmm. So we often think imagination is something that isn't real. It's very real. It's at that moment in time where we tap into the universal flow of energy, the spirit realm, where suddenly it's like an open telephone line, and suddenly we download an instant, either a vision, a thought, something that makes us stop in our tracks and think, oh, now why did that just come to me? Or why did I just say that? And that's because at that moment in time, vibrationally, we were perfectly aligned with everything. And so once we've got that and we start to listen on that and start to act upon it, I always feel that we're always divinely guided by spirit. I think often the problem is we don't take enough time to go within and really focus on what's happening within us. There's such a lot of external noise, whether it's people wanting our time, whether it's our job, our children, but there's such a hectic lot of things going on that it distracts us from really listening to our soul. Mm-hmm. And so when we say, is it us or is it our imagination? It's everything, because it's all interlinked. It can't be separate, because we are divine light. We're stardust children, if you want to call it that way. We're no different from, with the same essence genetically and DNA of light, the solar system. So everything's interlinked. So I think if you can get your head around that and just see yourself as pure energy, then energy can move, it can transform, it can change. And all we're doing each day is we are changing and moving our energies. Some days we may condense our energies down where we might feel a bit negative, a bit sad, a bit depressed. And then other times we might lift our energies and feel more joyous, more positive. So for me, if you start to listen and be more aware of how your energy is going, you're already linking in with spirit world. But the more happier you are and positive you are, the more lighter you become. And as you lift your energies, what happens is spirit then condense their energies down, and there's like this blending that takes place, this blending of energies. And what that then does, that enables that communication and spirit to work with us, whether that's just guiding us through popping a thought into our head, or giving us what I call a gut intuition feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just learning to listen to that.
Yeah, thank you, Stace, for that comment. It actually brings Mr. Einstein again into my mind. And he said that imagination is a preview of life's incoming attractions. And that's another way of what Metatron says to Jill. Actually, Jill, if people don't know, who is Metatron?
Okay, so Archangel Metatron. Metatron means, meta means after, and Tron is another form or name for God. So he's the after essence of God. So I don't like to use the word God, because people tend to think of God as religious, and then that brings in a whole different aspect of how we view that. So let's call it, imagine light, if you want. Okay. So in order for light to know itself, light, if you look at how cells replicate. Okay, this light has duplicated itself, and that first form of duplication became what's known as the angelic realm. So it's an aspect of divine knowledge, of divine creative force energy, and that energy then can condense down and interact with different life forms, but also as well maintain that connection. So effectively, you've got all these different archangels and angels around us, or these different aspects of light. And what you're able to do is listen to those angels, and they'll give you the guidance. So I've always channeled the entity or the energy of what I have been told is Archangel Metatron. And it was quite disconcerting at first. But what I have found is when there's nothing wrong with challenging what you're getting, whether it's challenging if you want the spirit world, or challenging, am I really getting this? Can you give me more evidence, or can you give me more proof? And by doing that, what I found was I kept getting drawn to certain things, and synchronicity started to come into play, where there were certain things that I was given that I never possibly would have known. And then when we went and researched it, me and my husband went and researched it, it was like, wow, you know, there's something going on here that is greater than ourselves. And we were asked to trust. And by putting our trust and our faith in that, it has never, ever guided us wrong.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And you have authored how many books now?
Well, we authored 7 between me and my husband. And I keep getting asked and asked. And I've got about 4 books on the go that I am writing, but I'm not very good at completing things. I'm great at starting things, but I'm not great. So Spirit keeps saying, you know, you must finish your book, you must finish your book. So we've got 7 at the moment, which effectively sort of historically documents how I came into doing trance channel, because before that I did psychic and tarot readings. I worked a lot with our loved ones in spirit that had passed over, but then the way I worked with spirit started to change, and I really struggled with surrendering to this energy that I could feel. And I think what happened in the end, they probably thought, oh, let's just give up, let's just knock her out, and we'll do what we need to do, and then we'll bring her back round. So what happened initially is I was completely out for the count, but through me, spirit would speak through me, and I could never tell anybody what I'd said, because I wasn't there to remember it. It came through me, but it wasn't part of me. But as I've got used to the process, to this point now, where they've said, you know, you don't really need to go into a deep trance. It can just come through you straight away. So it was up to, I'd say, the last 3 or 4 years now, I've just been working with spirit, and it just comes through me. And again, that's part of the trust process. Well,
girls and boys here present with us, I've seen Jill in action when you came to stay with me in Spain. Yes. Here. This was amazing when spirit comes through. Jill, I mean, I literally experienced you changing your physicality with some beings. Huh? Yes, how does that feel to you?
The problem is not so much while I'm going under and the facial features are changing, because as I'm going under, I don't really feel anything. But afterwards, it's like I've done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. My face feels really sore. So it just depends. Sometimes you can get like this transfiguration where spirit will come through and alter, so you can actually see spirit through me on my face. But then there's other times where they don't need to do that. They'll just work with me.
I saw both, and it was wow. It was something else. But now let's see. Seashells has a beautiful question. Jill, of course, would you answer?
Okay, so Seashells, you want to know if there's someone watching over you. Okay, well, first of all, I think it's really important that you're already linked in with the spirit world. So you're always being guided, you're always being supported. And it may be that you're not what we call clairsentient, where you feel somebody's presence, because again, it's really important that you recognize how you work with spirit. And the only way that you can get to know how you work with spirit is by just spending 5 minutes just sitting quietly, and not allowing your thoughts to try and interject with things, and just be present in that moment. And then what you'll find is, for you, I actually feel that spirit connect with you more through a form of telepathy. So I feel what you're probably going to get more than feeling the presence of someone is you get thoughts that pop into your head, and you're going to think, well, where did that come from? And that really effectively is your angels working with you. And what you'll find is, the more you start to trust that process, then your other intuitive abilities, like your clairsentience, like your clairaudience, where you can hear spirit, or even clairvoyance, where you can see spirit, will start to kick in for you. It's just that process of trusting. And also, as well, just remember as well that the more you try to do something and you're focused on trying to feel the presence of your angels, the focus is not actually where it should be, which is being in the present moment and being still. So the more you try to experience something, the more your mind is controlling that process. So what I'd really recommend you do is, just for now, just try to sit. Just practice being still. Eckhart Tolle is a brilliant spiritual teacher, and he teaches about the presence, about just being still, being in the present moment, not thinking. And when you do that, that doorway with the spirit world will be felt a lot more clearly for you.
That's beautiful.
Hope that
Thank
helps.
you. Yeah, I will add, just from myself, as not a professional psychic, nothing like that. What really worked for me was just breathing and focusing on breath. And if we look at the quantum physics, how it is explaining that now, what you need to do, we need to receive this feeling of a whole brain, when left and right hemispheres, they come together, right? And then there will be an alignment and coherence between your mind and your heart. So a very simple exercise, which I actually shared in a previous episode with Donna, who is a teacher of meditation and author as well, we talked about this deep breath, 5 in through your nose, and then on a count of 5 through your nose, and then through your mouth, right? And just create this beautiful harmony in the flow. And whenever you get distracted, you come back to your breath, right?
Yes.
And you just trust. Oh, I get goosebumps everywhere.
If you think about it, Natalia, effectively, there has to be balance.
Yes.
All right. So the in-breath is breathing in that divine light, that divine presence. And then as you release that, you're giving back to the universe as well. So there's this symbiotic energy flow that's happening automatically. And like you say, if you can just get into that, just focusing on the in-breath and the out-breath, breathing in light, breathing out love, breathing in light, breathing out love. But then just be still and leave the body to do what it does. You can just start, as you start to do that, you'll start to feel the presence of spirit. And I always often talk about auras. We have this magnetic energy field around our bodies. And effectively what's happening is, it's a symbiotic energy relay that's happening between the universe, the world around us, and the physical body. But what happens is, as we start to become very still, our aura starts to expand. And as the aura expands, what happens then is, as you connect with the astral realm, which is the spiritual realm, you can sort of feel a pressure. Mm-hmm. And I think what happens for some people is they sense as though there's something there, or they feel there's a restriction. And what tends to happen is we shut down. Whereas if you see that and you can sense that, or hear it, or feel it, as right there, I'm right at the gate of the spiritual realm, let's relax into it and just let go. You will really get that connection with your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your loved ones that have passed over, even pets. Mm-hmm. So it's just that, relax into it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jill. Honor, I will take your question in just one moment. I just wanted to roll with this, what you just said, Jill. The topic is understanding free will and destiny. Mm-hmm. And now, when we are facing all sorts of issues, well, when do we not face issues? World today is filled with so-called outer issues, right? Whatever they might be. So now, whatever happens, you might get stressed, you might have a situation, something drops out of nowhere, right? And now, okay, so how would a person then source from that divinely given free will and become co-creator in the midst of chaos, as opposed to say, oh, it's my faith or it's my destiny? How would we empower them? What would we advise?
Okay. I personally would say the first thing you do is you stop.
Yeah, I agree.
And you breathe.
Yes.
And you think, okay, right, let's just take a moment. And I think this is the problem. We don't take that moment for ourselves. And it's really important. For me, it's about honoring ourselves and saying, okay, this has presented itself. This is what is happening. Okay, let's not worry about how I manifested or why this turned up. Okay, let's look at what's really going on here. All right. So rather than reacting straight away and jumping into the drama, going, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Stop, breathe, and then look at how it's playing out. And if you can see what's happening, then just say, okay, so what are my choices here? Okay. What is the best way in which I can deal with this? Well, the first thing is observe, because the more you observe, the more you will see. If I want to say the poop hits the fan, I know straight away, I just call in spirit. I just say, angels, spirit guides, help me understand what's going on here first, please. And then what I try to do is I try to look at what can I physically, emotionally, mentally do that is going to have an impact in what is happening. Because if something's happening and I don't have control over it, so for example, I don't know, let's say all of a sudden we've got martial law and we've got soldiers walking down the street. I have no control over that, but I do have control over how I react to it.
Yes.
All right. So rather than think, oh, something really bad's happening, the soldiers walking down my road. No. Okay. Something's happening, which I don't really understand. So let's just take a step back. And isn't it a good thing that I've got this protection around me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we can do that. Or let's say, for example, you open the back door and your dog's got blood coming out of its arm because it's been silly enough to run through the rose bushes and but you're panicking, thinking, oh, the dog's going to die. Again, take a step back and think, okay, let's sort the wound first. So it's just about breathing and just asking your spirit guides, your angels to come in and support you through this. And then being non-reactive. I've found not being reactive is been really pivotal for me. Mm-hmm. Because I think when you knew me, when we first met, I wasn't very good at being non-reactive.
Well, it's a spiral of awakening, right? Yes. We discussed it many times. We go farther and deeper.
Yeah, so I mean, I could go from 0 to 100 in a nanosecond, but I have learned through learning and seeing, and what I found fabulous about this process is everything is a choice. Yes. And when you see something that's happening, all it is the universe giving you different perspectives or different potentialities, I like to call them, for you to choose from. Mm-hmm. Do I want to go this way or this? And that's where your free will comes in.
Can I just say something? Because this was so important to me when that happened, whether it was Mother Mary or not, that being that I felt, that was her, okay? And since I am with the mystery school of the Sophia Code, as I said before, Mother Mary has been very dear to me. And I had a dilemma, okay? And I really wanted to, I was really tempted. My ego was tempted to say, oh, why is this happening to me? And oh my God, the drama. And then she just came through and she was on and on all night long. You get to choose. You get to choose. You get to choose. Exactly. Which way you're gonna go, how you. And I have again goosebumps. Thank you. Yeah. So which gift do I have if I'm reactive with my skin?
That's clairsentience, because you're sensing the energy, and as that energy, as you're tuning in, just as you can sense hot and cold. You're like, that's why some people say, oh, I felt, somebody's just walked over my grave. And no, what it is somebody hasn't just walked over your grave. What it's done is in that split second, you've relaxed enough or opened yourself enough up to feel the presence or the energy of the spirit world.
Beautiful. Well, Jill, if you finished, would we reply to Honora? Because we can actually weave that into your continuation of your answer.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's interesting, Honora, because you've put, what do seer dreams mean to a person? Now, that depends whether or not you are the seer or you're seeing a seer. So if you could type a little bit more into your question for me, I would be very happy to answer that. But if you're the seer, what for me it would normally mean is you have the gift of prophecy and you're being asked to trust that process. However, if you're seeing a seer, and you're watching dreams where there are seers, that could very much imply for me that one of your guides is a seer and they're trying to teach you to use your skills of prophecy. And what you need to do is watch and learn. I always have a really strong belief in that if you want to be successful at something, you find somebody who's doing it, something that you want to do, and you learn. You watch them. You watch how they put their things across. You watch how they do what they do, and you don't copy and become a copycat, but you take those qualities and learn from that, and then make it your own. So it would really depend when we have seer dreams as to how they play out with what you're seeing.
Beautiful. Jill, something comes to mind. I don't know if it was, please ask your questions. Yes, I need to remind you. I know we all get into listening so much, and it's beautiful. We would love that you interact also with us, so we can then answer your questions. And if you have anything that bothers you, if you have anything that you are not sure about, well, we've got an expert here, so please do. Jill, thank you, Delilah. Yeah. So 1 second. Was it in your book, in one of your books, or have I read it somewhere else, that somebody said that humanity, the way it was created, was kind of experiment in free will?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. So what does that mean? I mean, I know for me what it means, but
Right, okay. Well, if you, as I also work with star seeds, which not everybody can get their head around. So there are other life forms around us. There are, and some of those life forms don't get to have free will. They're sort of autonomous in the way that they respond to things. All right. Whereas as I understand it, the purpose of a life is to make known the unknown, because we are part of this creative energy. And so this creative energy is exploring all these different ways in which to experience and bring into form things that are intangible. So we have an idea about something, and thank God somebody had the idea about Wi-Fi and the internet, because if they didn't, we wouldn't be able to communicate this way. And then what happens is, through a series of processes that we do, we take what's intangible and we explore it, and we create from it this form. So life is about learning to explore all these different potentialities. Mm-hmm. So that we can grow, we can expand. And this is why we have challenges. Nothing is ever stable in life. It doesn't matter how much we cling to things and want it to be the same. It's constantly changing. It's moving. It's like this cosmic dance of light that's swirling around and giving us new perspectives, new experiences. But the problem we have is, as we've grown up, we are indoctrinated into things like, that's bad, this is good, we don't talk to those sort of people, we don't do this, and this is how you need to be, and this is what to be a good person, you've got to be like this. And all this programming is actually stopping us from fulfilling that life purpose, because our life purpose is more than a job. It's more than an act. Our life purpose is being, unfolding, exploring, tasting all the cornucopia that the world has to give us. So
follow your bliss.
Yeah, it's everything is, if you start to see the joy in everything, you just get more of it. And this is where I think your free will is really important, because of all those programmed responses, it stops us exploring the unknown.
Yeah. If anything, one thing is certain in life, that is transformation and change. We don't like to believe that, but it is.
Definitely, particularly when it comes to aging.
And that's the thing. It's like, who says that aging is bad, that you need to do certain things to yourself when you are maturing? I always say I'm an ageless goddess. I say, Jill, you're gorgeous. And I mean, so who cares if you're 100 or you're 17? You know, it's like, feel good no matter what the label is.
I just see every day as a brand new slate, a brand new start. Yesterday is gone, never, it doesn't exist, it never come again. What are we going to do today? Exactly. Let's do something brilliant with it.
There you go. And now we're gonna help Delilah here. Delilah. I'm itching to answer that one. I'll have you, Jill, answer first.
Okay. Hi, Delilah. Okay, so you have it this way, you see and hear spirit. I don't think it's surrendering that's probably your block. Normally when you get instances, it means that you've got that ability to connect, and I don't feel it's a case of giving away your power, because surrendering for me often what's the word, intimates that you're giving away your power. But I feel actually it's more about trusting yourself. Okay, because most people, when they begin to become aware of the spirit world, there's this feeling of being unworthy, or why are they speaking to me? You know, why would they want to speak or talk through me? That, you know, that's not what spirit do. They normally speak to special people, but we're all special. We all have this gift. Right, if you go all the way back to ancient times, caveman times, we were given intuition for a reason, so that we could sense if danger was coming, you know, if a saber-toothed tiger was about to pounce on you and your family. And bit by bit, that intuitive part of us has been silenced or hushed up. So I feel, rather than say surrender, you don't, and start saying to yourself, you're open to spirit communication. Don't start focusing on the block, because if you focus on the block, that's what you are manifesting and aligning with.
Jill, and you're answering as I want to
answer. So do that. Just say, I'm open to hearing you, spirit. I want to work with you. Just give me things so I can develop my trust a little bit more in myself and with yourself. Just help guide me, help teach me when I'm in my sleep state. I'm open to your lessons, and you should find that over the next sort of 6 months, things will start to pick up with you. One last quick thing. I know you want to speak, Natalia. I'm sorry. I would make a list of all the things that you're scared of. And I spoke to you about it, didn't I, earlier this week, Natalia? And then try and pinpoint when those fears first appeared. Because if you've got a fear, for example, of the dark, that may have happened when you were a child. But now you're an adult. So go back and sit in the dark and realize it's not that scary. Actually, it's quite peaceful when all your sensory perceptions are shut down and all you're feeling is your breath, your oneness with life. And try and go down and identify where these fears have come from. Not about blaming who gave you them, but when, what age, so that you can see whether or not they are really relevant anymore. And I think you'll find your blocks disappear for you. Okay, sweetheart?
Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
I'm going to play with Delilah. I'm going to play with you girls in a quantum field, because thank you, Delilah. Listen to this one. I have this friend who is, he's known as the spell breaker, right? And he authored this #1 best-selling Amazon, whatever, international bestseller, Break Your Self-Help Addiction. And in there, he challenges us and he says, what if there are no blocks? What if it's just a program? What if it's been put into the consciousness of humanity that there are any blocks whatsoever? And he says, show me a block. Where is it? What does it look like? Do you know for sure that it's true?
Mm.
Because, you know, it's like, who says, Delilah, that you have any blocks? Why don't you just switch it around, as Jill suggested, and start saying, I'm a perfect receiver. I can hear everything clearly. I'm having fun, I'm enjoying, and focus on the breath, right? Focus on the breath, relax. Relax. Jill, silence speaks, right?
It does. But sometimes it tells us those things we don't really want to hear. Like you shouldn't have that second glass of wine.
In vino veritas, in wine the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough, right? Just enough as medicine. Well, I hope you had some fun with me, but play, Delilah. Just ask yourself, do I know for sure that I have it? What is a block anyway? Show me the block. You know what I'm saying? That's just the construct. That's what I'm getting at, right? Yeah. So Carrie Clark.
Right, so, Carrie.
Jill.
Okay, as I understand Carrie from my perspective, and I've had this before where I've seen certain situations and in my dream state, or I've been just about to go into trance and I'm seeing future events. Okay, what I have learned and been shown from spirit is whether you are a psychic, which is you're able to read the energy of a person and foresee events around them, or you're a medium and you're connecting with spirits and the loved one who are telling you things. What is really important is that at this moment in time, you are seeing a snapshot, a potentiality, but it doesn't make it fact. It doesn't mean that it will come to pass. So what it's showing us is you're picking up a potentiality. The potentiality is not something you can control. The potentiality is something that the soul controls. So your husband would control, okay? And as I understand it, we have 3 exit points given to us at any one time. Any one time where we can say, don't want to do this anymore. I want to get out of here. Let's just go. But normally 9 times out of 10, you are seeing something that either A, is an insecurity that is manifesting within you and coming up as a vision. If your prophecy tends to be quite spot on, remember again, it's a choice. And if it is, ask spirit to clarify. What I found with a lot of people is when they see things like this, they take it as gospel and they worry about it, which then means you're manifesting that, you're focusing on that energy. What I always say to my students is you've got to come back and challenge spirit and say, okay, I saw this vision. Can you expand on that and show me how this is playing out, what I'm meant to learn from it? Because I have had spirit back in 2005 said to me, we were going to, in fact, no, it was before that. I think it was 2004, said, oh, you're going to immigrate to the States. Oh, yeah, so in 2005, we sold our property. We went over to the States. We went over to Florida. We were going to buy a business out there and set up home. It never came to pass. And then I got told by a very good friend of mine who's a psychic medium. She said, keep saying to me, you're going to move and live in Canada. All right. Now I'm going back 28, 27 years now, still not come to pass. And what I started to do is I started saying to Metatron, I said, why did you show me these things? Either A, that I don't have no control over and I can't possibly impact or change, or you show me things and then they don't come to pass. And again, Spirit have said, we're only showing you the potentialities of what's possible, but it is your free will which determines whether or not that potentiality becomes the reality. Yeah. So it's where do I direct my energy? If I'm going to direct my energy on that, it's gonna become a reality. But so this is what I love about when we have these psychic abilities. You're being shown snapshots at any one time. So it's like looking through a catalogue. And so you can say, oh, I like that. I'm not having that. That can go. So don't focus on that. Know your own intuitive abilities. And you've got quite a strong energy. And I feel in your gut, that this is something that you've seen, but I feel it's something that's way off. It's not current. It's not now.
Carrie, thank you for the question. And can I have a follow-up question to that one, Jill?
Yeah.
About karma and messing with other people's karma. Because if Carrie here sees something, okay, now there is a big choice. Do I tell them? Do I not tell them? What do I do? What do I do? We all have our path, right? So yeah. What is your take on that?
Okay, for me personally,
there we go. I warned him,
right.
she says.
Okay. Yeah, go and get a physical by your doctor, go and check things out. That's the best thing you can do. But what you do get is you do get some people who through it sounds awful, but and I'm not putting anyone down, but we tend to allow ego, and you can have people that will walk just up to somebody they don't know and say, "Oh, you need to come and see me. I've got a message for you from Spirit." And that for me is so wrong, because what you're doing is you're pushing your energies onto them. First and foremost, karma for me is not this tool of retribution. Okay. For me, as I understand from the angelic realm, karma is merely another presentation and opportunity for you to experience something in a different aspect, a different way, so that you get a different understanding of something. Because I have the one thing that Spirit have taught me, and they drum it into me even today. There's no right and wrong. There's just different views and opinions, and it's just a different way of seeing something. No way is right, no way is wrong, no way is better, no way is worse. It just is. And it's your free will, how you attach to it, that determines the experience that you gain from it.
Yeah.
And so it's really important when when people come up, they say, oh, so stolen some money, and the first thing I normally say to somebody is, well, hang on a minute, were you there? Oh no, but so told me. And I said, well, if you weren't there, you don't know that's true.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Carrie here is commenting, and I empathize, and I would like to offer this that you actually, as Jill said, by focusing on this possibility that he might pass, you're making that feel somewhat stronger. And is that something that we want to be doing? I mean, who says, do we know that this person is going to pass? Jill, what do you say about that?
As I understand it from Metatron, no one can impact on whether or not you choose to pass over. All right, it is a direct link. Okay, if we call it fate, okay, so fate has an exit time, but you get 3 exit times, remember?
Yes.
So there's always a choice. And it's what you choose to align with. And this is why you get people who have near-death experiences, and they say, I was told it wasn't my time yet, because there's certain things that still need to be learned or experienced. I feel for you, Carrie. I really do. It's really hard to be in the circumstances that you find yourself in. I would encourage you to write down some of your fears, because I feel there seems to be, what I'm picking up from you is you've got a lot more worry than you're letting on. And it, and I think you need somebody either to talk to or to guide you. Maybe just sit and hold that space so you can release some of these worries, because the problem is none of us are guaranteed a tomorrow. None of us. I could finish this and then stand up and have a heart attack, and if that's the case, it is. We can't change what is. But why waste now, this beautiful moment you've got now with your family, worrying about what may or may not happen? Because whenever you try to live in the past or live in the future, you're not being present, and you're not then being present with your husband or with your child. And I'd say, just live for the moment.
I will. Thank you,
Let
Jill.
the rest take care of itself. It will be fine, sweetheart. It really will.
Absolutely. We are sending prayers and light, and I'm sure it will be. I'll just say this, that saying that worrying is creating what you don't want.
Yeah.
And why would we want to invest our energies into that? They have such beautiful energy. Why not to focus on beautiful things, of what is possible? And actually, Jill, why not to have a visualization of that person that she's worrying about, that they are thriving and that they are healthy? You actually could influence. Right?
But I would put round your home any pictures of you getting married, where you're starting your life, where you're embracing one another, all those happy photographs, because the more you see them and you align with that joy, the more you're lifting those energies and saying no to negativity, no to karmic influences, no to pain, no to suffering. So, you know, fill your home with love. Anything that aligns you with love, what makes you feel good, what really because when you start to think about your child and your husband and the life you have together, it really embraces and lifts you. And that's what you need to hold. You need to hold that energy.
Yes, and on that note, actually, with everything that is happening in the world, I believe that all of us would really benefit from making that choice on focusing on love, light, peace, because we are one. Peace within, peace around. Yeah. It's all a mirror and reflection, isn't it, Jill?
I would say fate is when you fail to create your own destiny, and destiny is what you create for yourself. So you have to start getting into, what am I creating today? When you wake up, think, oh, brilliant, what am I going to make today? What am I going to create? I'm going to have fun. I'm going to just enjoy today. Look at the sunshine. Oh, isn't it great? I've got this lovely home. It keeps me safe. It gives me my protection. I've got these people around me that love me. And just focusing on that, you will get through everything that you find will lift you and move you forward.
100% with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Verity Ann. Ooh, Jill. Long one. Please read.
Okay, so I have successfully connected with my spirit guide a number of times through meditation. I had my very good friend late Nan come through and passed me on a message to give to my friend's mum. I was amazed that what I passed on made sense. I found the next couple of days I felt very drained, and sadly I think I may have blocked my ability. I can't open it back up. Do you know a way I can do this, please? Okay, you've tried meditating. Okay, that is the key. All right, you've tried. All right, when you try, you strain your energy. So first and foremost, focus on the fact that you have mediumship abilities. And the thing with mediumship abilities is it's learning to work with your power. It's learning to sit in the energy. And before you even try to get a connection with a loved one in spirit and evidence from the spiritual world, what you've got to do is just get used to blending your energies. In fact, I'm going to be doing a series of meditations on my YouTube channel about sitting in the power and using that energy to work with spirit. And so what I'd suggest you do just for now is just, you're not blocked. Like I said to the lady earlier before, I think it was seashells. You haven't got blocks. We're not blocked. All right. All it is if you think of you're vibrating here at one level, spirit's vibrating at this level. All you've got to do is just bring your energies up a bit, and spirit will bring theirs and meet you. The other thing as well is when we're wanting to connect with spirit, it's really important you want to know why you want to connect with spirit. And this is why sometimes spirit communication is hit and miss, because if you want to doing it for entertainment or because, oh, I think this is different, it's exciting, let's see, let's play. Normally spirit are there to help you expand and grow. Or spirit will only come forward if there's something either to bring comfort, a message of comfort, or to confirm and give evidence of proof of life after death. So it's really important you have your intention before you work with spirit about what you want to do. So if I'm going to be doing a reading for you, if you came to me for a reading, the first thing I would do in the morning is I'd call in spirit and say, I'm going to be doing a reading for Verity Ann Quinn today. Can I ask that only the highest and best information comes through, that anybody in spirit that needs to pass on a message is allowed to come through? And then I leave it with spirit. And then when we have the reading, then I sit and I ask spirit to bring me the information that I need. And I just stay open. And I always say to my client, you know, I can't guarantee I will get information through for you. And I cannot guarantee that the information I get through will be what you want to hear. And so for me, I would say just relax a bit more. And just focus on the fact that you do have mediumship ability. Start confirming that. Because if you think about it, you're spirit. So if you're spirit, then it's obvious you can connect with spirit because you're the same.
Yeah, we're one.
Yeah, we're one. All right. So that's where that pillar comes in.
Yeah.
It's about that oneness. So it's not a case of you've got to reach somewhere else. It's just a case of you've got to sit in your energy and just trust that process. And then that spirit communication will come through.
This is beautiful, Jill. You know, actually what comes to mind we have been so conditioned to doubt ourselves, to be told the authorities outside of ourselves, the lawyers, the doctors, the presidents, the governments. The power is within you, child. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You need to dare and trust that life is for you. And you know what? You can just relax into it. And we're not taught to relax, are we?
Yeah. No, we're not. But the other thing as well is the more you play with it and have fun with it, the more you get hit after hit after hit.
Yeah. That's what I'm finding as well. And you know me, Jill, Natalia, relax. What is that? How do you relax? But I'm
actually doing a weekend class via the internet on how to work psychically and how to work with energy. Because I think what a lot of people struggle with is it me or is it spirit?
Yeah.
You know, and how do I gather that evidence? And I think it's important that we do have that evidence, because that then gives us that confidence.
Perfect. Actually, thank you, Jill. Richard, you're showing our websites all the time anyway. Do we have a lot of questions more? Perfect. Then we can actually show. Did you show Jill's book?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, perfect. So Jill, can you tell a little bit about how people can work with you, what you offer, what is coming up?
Okay, well, the first thing I'd say is check out my website, angelmessenger.co.uk. I have blogs on there, but if you want a reading or you want spiritual coaching, I do that. And also there's lots of guided meditations that have been trans-channeled from the angelic realm to help us reconnect with our authentic self and reclaim our divine sovereignty. So, and I think that's a good starting point. First and foremost, go with what resonates with you. If you feel drawn, brilliant. If not, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I also have 2 Facebook pages, but I also have a Facebook group. So facebook.com/groups/talk to angels. All right. If you join on there, I post daily angel guidance. And I do put videos on there. There's also my YouTube channel, my Instagram channel. Again, it's angelmessenger.co.uk. Pinterest. I'm on most of the social media websites.
Well, you just go to Google and put Jill Harrison.
Angel Messenger, and it will come up for you.
Exactly.
So you can find things there.
Is there anything coming live soon? When did you say it was?
Yeah, live. Now then.
Because people are here from England, right? And you in England.
Yeah, but I do them so that they sort of fit in. Working Psychically is on the 2nd and 3rd of April. So it's at 3 p.m. UK time till about 7:30, but we have breaks in between. And you're going to get to work with people in breakout rooms and play. We're going to play with colour. We're going to play with reading auras from an energy point of view. I do algolithium, which is starseed work, teaching people and showing people how to give attunements. I've got some angel webinars coming up soon in the next not too distant future. So I've got lots of different things. And then, as I say, there's the readings and coaching if people feel that that's what they want to do.
Well, lovely, lovely. Well, look, 1 hour already had passed. Richard, would you like me to talk to the audience about upcoming shows? So what have we got coming up? Jilly Emerson, do I say it correctly? 8 o'clock. Live with Spirit. Yep. Bree at 10 a.m. tomorrow, influencing your future steps. Yet our readings, mediumship, healing. So tune in. Oh, 11 o'clock apparently. Yeah, Bill Hughes, 8 p.m. tomorrow, Collective Consciousness. Oh yeah, there is a Mind Body Spirit event coming up on the 11th of June. So that is what is up. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to remind everybody that this show is bi-weekly. So next time I'm going to have an awesome guest from Spain, who is actually British as well, Claire Atio. She is a female empowerment coach. And if you would like to hear more from me and those kind of conversations, just go to YouTube and check the Lovetarian Way podcast. That's what Richard saw when he thought it was a good idea to have the Lovetarian Way show here on SPTV. And now he is really probably going like, oh my God, what have I done? Thank you, Verity. Thank you all so much. Please connect with Jill, and it was such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Wendy. Beautiful. Thank you. I love that you love it. And please connect with Jill. Of course, connect with me, nataliaph.com. But, just Google Natalia PH Lovetarian, the Lovetarian Way, and Jill, Archangel Messenger. Thank you, Google. You can find everything now. But, of course, the link is all the time showing, right, Richard? People can see it. So cool. So thank you so much. And we will be seeing you in 2 weeks. And, of course, you can connect with Jill anytime, and me. Thank you. Namaste from my heart to yours. Go and love yourself.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.